Nothing but the music. I hope your story's sweet. Nothing but the music. From the concerts to the streets. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. We're having a little party. Glad you could be here. Talking about a movie that was made about local musicians and the good times and the tough times that are involved in life as a musician. My name's Benny. For most of my life, I played in a band called Benny and the Jets. We traveled all over the world, playing concerts with Chuck Berry and Chubby Checker, Ricky Nelson, Eddie Money, Mitch Ryder, the list goes on. And somehow I managed to squeak out a life, nothing but music, to the point that I found a 16-year-old grandson who's also strumming his guitar. Maybe a round of applause for Dominic Chet Taylor. My partner in crime, Rick, he told me one time if Dominic practiced his guitar, he'd let him play at the spring fling that we do at the Wyandotte Yak Arena. So Dominic got a guitar for Christmas a couple years ago, and he practiced and learned a couple of chords, and pretty soon he was strumming all the songs that I was playing. So Rick let him play his first gig, his first concert at the Yak Arena. So I have to have a round of applause for my partner, Rick. In the movie, we're going to see several musicians. We're going to see young guys and old guys, and girls and jazz musicians and rock and roll musicians, and they tell their story about their life in music, about how they got into the music, what started them, what inspired them, their highlights and their lowlights. And it's kind of interesting to follow along and see how interactive those stories are, how they kind of intercross each other's stories. I was asking Dominic when we watched the movie down at the Majestic Theater downtown Detroit a couple weeks ago. I was asking him what he thought the highlight of the movie was, and what was the most exciting part of the movie. And he said the part, as a 16-year-old guy, he said the part that made most sense to him was my friend Bob Harris. Bob, wave at us. Bob's out there. 86-year-old Bob Harris. When Bob talked in the movie about getting representation, about being in heaven an agent, heaven management, part of the reason that Elvis Presley was because he had Colonel Tom Parker managing him. And part of the reason Bob Seger was so famous is because he had Punch Andrews, who managed him all those years and looked out for him. Part of the reason that I am where I am today is because I had Bob Harris looking out for me. I miss Colonel Parker, Bob. So it's a great story, and I hope everybody enjoys it. We'll have a lot of fun with it. A chance to strum a couple songs here at the beginning, maybe till about 7:30 we'll fire up the movie. The movie's a little longer than an hour. We'll watch the movie afterwards. We can do a little meet and greet, talk to the producers, and the directors of the movie. They do have t-shirts they're selling and DVDs of the movie, posters, so if you want to take one of those home with you. As well, it's become such an iPhone, Facebook world that this is a great time to text a friend. Let them know you're here at the Knights of Columbus, downtown Wyandotte. They still have plenty of time to race down and see the movie. You know, when a band makes a CD, their goal is for people to hear the CD. So when the movie makers made this movie, their goal is for a lot of people to see the movie. So that's what we're hoping to do this afternoon. Text a friend, go to your Facebook, invite them down, tell them to race down here to Wyandotte. There is a Nothin But Music movie Facebook page, if you're a Facebook person. And there's a Benny and the Jets Facebook page. We can all click and like, and we'll be socially connected. Nothing but music, and I hope your story's sweet. Nothing but music, from the concerts to the streets. We were passing this guitar around when we started playing, and I didn't think that we might have to retune it after everybody was jamming on it. But that's one of those things that sometimes you have to do. We were talking, some of the guys were talking out in the audience about Bob Seger. Our friend Bob Seger recently had a birthday, celebrated his 72nd birthday. 72 years old. Round of applause for Bob Seger. 72 years old. Bob Seger's done a lot of things in his day. Made live albums, did everything. But the one thing Bob Seger never did in his career, he never played with his 15-year-old grandson. It reminded me he's 16 now. Makes a difference, 16. Guitar for Christmas, and he learned all those chords, he learned all those songs, and he could pretty much play any song I play nowadays. He kind of thinks he's as good as I am. I've been playing for over 50 years, I guess, and he's been playing for over a year. And I told him, not only do you have to learn the chords, but you have to become a showman. You have to put a little pizzazz in your playing. Well, nothing seems as strange as when the leaves begin to change. How we thought those days would never end. Sometimes I hear the song, I I wanna sing along. Man, I'd like to see that girl again. It was 1989, my thoughts were short, my hair was long, stuck away between a boy and man. She was 17, she was hardly in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Campfires and simple things and life like rain. We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. Then we would find lives of things, we had spoken funny things, making love up by the lake on baby's arms, sipping whiskey out the bottle, nothing about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Catch a walleye off the dock, watch the waves roll off the rocks, sure ever have a place inside my soul. We blistered in the sun, couldn't wait for night to come, to find a shady place to rock and roll. And we were trying lots of things, we were smoking funny things, making love up on a lake on our favorite song, sipping whiskey out the bottle, nothing about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. And nothing seems as strange as when the leaves begin to change. And how we thought those days would never end. Sometimes I hear the song, I want to sing along. Man, I'd like to see that girl again. Think about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Hey! Dominic Jet Taylor on the guitar, give him that round of applause. He thinks he's a cool guy now, you know, you get to be 16, start playing your guitar, and you're in a movie. But the nice thing about movies is they kind of remind you of where you came from. Because when we started this movie almost 10 years ago, Dominic was a little 6-year-old kid. And you'll see him in the movie kind of acting like a 6-year-old kid. So as cool as he gets, with his hair, with his hat backwards, he gets to remember when he was a little kid. I kind of put this song together for Dominic to kind of make sure he remembers when he was a little kid. But it really works for all the little kids, all the grandsons, and all the grandpas. I was a rebel from the day I left school. I grew my hair long, I broke all the rules. I sat and played records all day, big ambitions of when I could play. My Parents taught me what life was about, but I grew up the kind they warned me about. They said my friends were an unruly mob and I should get a haircut and get a real job. Get a haircut, get a real job. Clean your act up and don't be a slob. Get together like your big brother Bob and get a haircut and get a real job. I even tried that 9-to-5 thing. Told myself it was all a bad dream. I found a band with some good songs to play. We partied at night, we slept all day. Met this girl, she was my #1 fan. She took me home to meet her mom and her dad. They looked at me and said, oh my God, get a haircut and get a real job. Get a haircut, get a real job. Clean your act up and don't be a slob. Get together like your big brother Bob and get a haircut and get a real job. Now the old guy plays guitar. Someone said that he was a star. He had a van with his name on the side. Facebook picture of him and Kid Rock. They hit the big time in the rock and roll bands. More success than they'd ever planned. He's got more money than his big brother Bob, who had a haircut and had a real job. Get a haircut, get a real job. Clean your act up and don't be a slob. Get together like your big brother Bob and get a haircut and get a real job. I was a rebel from the day I left school. Grew my hair long, I broke all the rules. I sat, played records all day, with big ambitions of when I could play. Parents taught me what life was about, but I grew up the kind they warned me about. They said my friends were an unruly mob and I should get a haircut and get a real job. Get a haircut, get a real job. Clean your act up and don't be a slob. Get together like your big brother Bob and get a haircut and get a real job. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and place for the youth of America, get a haircut and get a real job. Good times, Dominic, Chet Taylor on the guitar, yours truly, Benny and the Jets Band. Do it again. Get a real job and voice for the youth of America. All right, we're going to bring our partner Eric Herbanian up, and he's going to strum a couple of songs on the guitar. Eric is not only a singer, songwriter, an author, a movie maker. He seems to have done all that at the young age of, well, I won't tell how old he is. Come on, Eric, sit right here, grab your guitar. He's going to play a couple songs, then we're going to get Nate Jones to come up and play, and then it'll be time for the movie to start up. I wanted to ask you, Eric, how did you, as you run over there and grab your guitar real quick, how did you get into the movie making business? It's like one day you woke up and you said, I think I'm gonna make a movie. And not only just a little movie, this is a full-length feature film that's been in film festivals and won awards, and we're moving it around. I'm gonna move this, you're gonna sit right here, I'm gonna move this microphone right over to you. And I want you to tell everybody how you got into the movie making business. I'll plug you in here. Oh. Wait, taking this one. Da 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 da. A nice round of applause for Eric Herbanian, part of the people that made the magic making the movie. Eric, let me ask you once again, how did you decide to get into the movie making business?
Well, my wonderful wife Lisa and I used to do some local access cable years ago, and we've always been interested in doing a feature film. Sorry about that. Doing a feature film, and talking about that, we were working on a project about Cobo Arena a few years ago, and we were working with some other people, and it didn't really work out, so we kind of moved on from that. And then, so we were thinking about a follow-up project, and one of the people that we interviewed for the Cobo project was Benny, because you had played there with Bo Diddley and various people, and your father had done booking.
Promoted concerts there, my dad used to promote concerts at KISS there.
Yeah.
So, did a lot of bands there, yeah.
Right.
Cobo Arena, for any young people, was a legendary Detroit Cobo Hall, the famous Cobo Hall. Everything from big time wrestling to concerts and live bullet albums was all done at Cobo Arena, so it was a landmark place. And that's where you and I started talking about this Nothin But Music.
Right. We wanted to do a project about career musicians, and I realized that you, Benny, had been, playing since you were in high school.
Yeah, we started the band in 11th grade in high school.
Yeah, and
what grade are you in? 11th grade, okay.
I just thought that was a real momentous kind of thing, and then and also being a writer, writing for different publications. I had interviewed you a few times. One of the other people in the film, Howard Glazer, interviewed him for different publications, and realized that he had done basically nothing but music. And then I was working with Nate Jones on some public relations stuff.
Singer-songwriter Nate Jones.
That's right. He's going to be up in just a little bit. And he's basically done nothing but music. And then
we got a movie.
I saw a theme.
Where did you bump? And one of the stars in the movie is Jessica Hernandez. She actually made it to the David Letterman show. A young, I think she was a 16, 17-year-old young lady from Southwest Detroit here, started playing around.
Yeah.
Jessica Hernandez and the, what's the name of it? And the Deltas. And I turned on David Letterman one night. She's on David Letterman singing her songs and doing her thing. And how did you end up getting her in the movie?
Well, I was doing some writing for, actually, you know what? This guy, rest in peace, this guy, Al Abrams, who was the public relations executive, the first one for Motown Records.
Wow.
I got to know Al through Detroit Live. I did a feature on him.
Detroit Live Magazine.
Detroit Live Magazine, that's right. And he had interviewed Jessica, and he told me about her. He was just raving about her. So, just in my journeys to
your Nothin But Music thoughts.
Right. Well, I had interviewed her for Detroit Live Magazine.
I love it.
And then when we were putting together this movie, me and Lisa were talking about subjects for the film, and we want to get some young women in there too and get their perspective. So
different point of view. That's what we said. Young guy, old guy, female, males, all different.
Right. And everybody has a different path to making a career in music.
You know, whether you're young, how surprisingly similar a lot of those paths are. I love it. Hey, let's get you to do 2 or 3 songs maybe, and then we'll get Nate up here, and then we'll be time for the movie, right?
Yeah.
We got a guitar for you there. Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause, movie director Eric Herbanian.
Thank you, folks. I think I'm going to do a kind of a bluesy thing here. This is a T-Bone Walker song. Greg Allman just passed away this past week, and thought I'd do something that I've been doing for quite a while. Do something dedicated to him called Stormy Monday. Well, they call it Stormy Monday. Tuesday just as bad. Yes, they call it Stormy Monday. Tuesday just as bad. Wednesday's worse. Thursday's oh so sad. Now the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Yes, the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Wednesday I go to church, get on my knees and pray. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy on me. I said, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy on me. 'Cause I can't find my baby. Want somebody to please send her home to me. Mercy. I said, Lord have mercy on me. I said, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy on me. 'Cause I can't find my baby. Want somebody to please send her home to me. One more time. folks. I'm just gonna make a little adjustment here for a minute. I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. I'm gonna stand for this next one, okay? That's good.
It's funny, a lot of guys prefer standing or sitting, whatever you're used to doing, and then sometimes you stand or sit the opposite way, throws you out of whack a little bit. Once you reach a certain age, you prefer sitting. There's a lot to be said for just sitting down, getting comfortable, and being casual. But when you still have that rock and roll fever in you, you like to stand up where you can dance around and move around a little bit. How old is Mick Jagger now? Mick Jagger is 74, maybe, I think, 74 years old, and he still seems to be able to dance and move and jump and do all the stuff that them rock and rollers do. I remember back when Eric was playing with his band Chain Reaction, there was part of the song where you did the splits.
I don't know about that. We're not going to be doing that tonight.
That's not going to happen tonight, huh?
All right. All right. Now we're in the groove here. All the evening news comes the same old tale, a relentless search for the Holy Grail, whether north or south, with God on their side, they'll cross over to the great divide. To heaven's door have surely been paved as it's crossed the boundaries of church and state, and the chosen few I'm sure are relieved, 'cause now they can preach what we should believe. And I know throughout time man has taken control of his destiny and of his soul. Oh, but we keep on looking back when we should look ahead and creating the Lord in our own image. In our own image. Guilt that you endure hides the hidden pain that you've broken all of your vows again, and they made you feel empty to the bone. He without sin can cast the first stone. And I know throughout time man has taken control of his destiny and of his soul. Oh, but we keep on looking back when we should look ahead and creating the Lord in our own image. In our own image, yeah. In our own image, oh, in our own image. our own image. Yeah, in our own image. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you, that was an original tune. Thank you very much.
And you liked the bongo too, didn't you?
Yeah, that was
Bongo. That was like impromptu bongo. I kind of like that. You know who Steve King is? Steve King and the Diddleys. Steve's in the movie. He's got a little part in the movie. And Steve called me the other day and we were talking about the movie. And Steve says, Benny, you're friends with Bob Seger, and back in high school, his band, Steve King and the Diddleys, opened for Bob Seger at the Livonia hockey rink, the Livonia ice rink.
Yeah.
And he says, now that Bob Seger's doing this other tour, which might be his last tour, why don't you call Bob Seger for me and see if you can't get Steve King and the Diddleys to open up for Bob Seger as like an old time thing. And I go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna call Bob Seger for you, but I said, really, I do, I think it's a good idea. And if it happens, you gotta let me play bongos with your band. So I'm just practicing. So we're getting Eric to do another song, and I'll do a little bongos in the background. And then we're gonna bring Nate Jones up. Nate Jones is could we call Nate Jones a star of the movie?
He's definitely a star.
How did you meet Nate Jones?
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while now.
No, I'll ask Nate.
Maybe he can come
I'll
up
ask
with
Nate
something.
when they get to that part. All right, let's bang out another song, and then we'll get Nate Jones up, and then we'll get to the movie here in just a few minutes.
Okay, this is something I've been kind of working on, something new. But I mean, it's an old tune by the Byrds. And it's about, it's kind of one aspect, I guess, of Nothin But Music.
Well, let me ask you this: did the Byrds have a bongo player?
Well, they do now.
Sounds great for bongos. What's that guy's name? Maynard G. Krebs? Rick's the only one that laughs.
So you wanna be a rock and roll star, and listen now to what I say. Just get an electric guitar and take some time and learn how to play. And if your hair's come right and your pants are tight, it's gonna be alright. Now it's time to go downtown to the agent man, he won't let you down. Sell your soul to the company who are waiting there to sell plastic ware. And in a week or two, if you make the charts, the girls will tell you apart, yeah.
Is this the bongo solo?
Yeah, there you go. What's your price for your riches and fame? Was it all a strange game? You're a little insane. Sell your soul to the company. Don't forget you're a rock and roll star. La 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 la, yeah.
Made a joke about Maynard G. Krebs, and Rick was the only one that got the joke. Maynard G. Krebs, okay, a couple people got it.
Dobie
Gillis, he was like he was the bongo guy, he was the hippie, or the beatnik, I guess they called them beatniks. He was the beatniks, Maynard G. And hey, Babaloo, yeah. Babaloo, Ricky Ricardo was a famous bongo player too. If you don't know Maynard G. Krebs, you have to Google that. All right, we're gonna bring up Nate Jones right now.
Yeah,
Nate Jones,
let's bring up Nate.
Give Nate Jones a round of applause, makes him feel good. Nate Jones. Nate is getting his guitar out. Eric, you can tell me where's the first time you met or heard of Nate Jones? Because Nate Jones plays in Trenton a lot, doesn't he?
I do.
Yeah, you play all over.
I was an open mic down there, every Thursday night.
I remember, I think it was through Mike
Mark
Clark.
Clark,
Yeah.
Mark Clark, yeah.
Yeah, really cool. He's a down there guy. Mark Clark, writer, kind of a jack of all trades actually, but he is a record or music promoter and whatnot, and he put us in touch because he knew that I was doing public relations and writing and stuff like that, and then I heard some of Nate's music and I loved it.
And now Nate Jones not only does Nate Jones solo acoustic guitar when he does a thing. What's the name of that? The Grand TV Grand event in Trenton. You do Thursday nights over there, right?
Yep.
Not only does he do the solo live and is he a star of the Nothin But Music movie, he also plays with a band. We call it a trio or just call it a band?
We'll call it a band.
A band because there's two guys and a girl in the band. What's the name of that band, Eric?
Athens Creek.
It's a good thing you knew the name, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Athens Creek. There's an Athens Creek Facebook page, so we can all click and like and we'll be socially connected. Athens Creek played at the Spring Fling this spring, just a few weeks ago at Yak Arena. We had good times indeed watching Athens Creek. All right, we got Nate pretty much tuned up. Nate, you're gonna do like
Hopefully it stays in.
you're gonna do like the young rock star stand-up,
Oh, yeah.
or you're gonna sit down.
Yeah, I'm a rock star.
All right, we're gonna give you that microphone,
Alright.
and we're gonna get out of your way. You get anywhere where you're comfortable. Now,
Thanks, boys.
Now, Eric, when's the last time you wore red shoes? You know, you tell a lot of
I gotta say that's pretty sad.
you tell a lot about a guy by his shoes. Eric has comfortable shoes on. I got Walmart cheap shoes on. And Nate has fancy red shoes.
I got these shoes for $2.50.
Oh, don't tell me that.
For real, yep.
Oh.
Yep, it was a Route 21 sale, and I went in there and I was
Man, are you
like,
the
it was their
man?
$5 rack. They have a $5 shoe rack, and it was half off the $5 shoe
Oh,
rack. So,
why do you call me? Well, now you have my number. Next time you call me.
well, weird thing is that a year ago I couldn't wear them because my feet were too big.
Wow.
So my feet have shrunk in a year. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if that's
Doesn't-
good. I don't know if that's a good sign.
Are you getting skinnier or something? Are you getting rock star?
My feet are apparently.
Incredible. All right, one of my big pet peeves in rock and roll is people say, boy, I heard this guitar player the other night, he was great, or I heard this band the other night, they were really good. And I'll say, what was the name of them? I don't know, but they were really good. So the idea is when you hear somebody, if you like them, you try to remember their name. If you were smart, Nate, like on my guitar it says Benny, and just you put Nate Jones. Say somewhere? Okay, there you go, Nate Jones, so it makes it easier for them to see so they can remember, because I want them to remember your name. Give him a round of applause, make him feel special. He's going to get 2 or 3 songs in and then we'll get the movie in, right? Give him a big round of applause. Nate Jones, Nate Jones!
Thanks a lot, guys. So I know you haven't heard the music yet, unless you've heard of what I do, but if you want to find out more about what I'm doing, I actually have an email sign-up list over there. I just send out like a once-a-month email, let you know where I'm playing at in the area and all that kind of stuff. So if you are interested in finding more about that, I'm going to play a couple original tunes here. I'm going to start it off with this one. It's kind of a Cinderella story. I was at a ballroom dancing class with my sister and my wife, and I watched my sister as she danced around out there, and she was looking all beautiful and blonde, and I was just like, you know, I kind of just had this image of Cinderella dancing out there solo alone, and then joining her prince, and so I wrote this song with that in mind. This song's called Blonde in the Ballroom. She's dancing in the ballroom like no one's around. Dancing in the ballroom, her head's in the clouds, feet on the ground. The most elegant gown, time it doesn't matter. She's nowhere bound. All the boys are cutting in and feeding her lines. She's heard them all before, but she doesn't mind. She's waiting on the one who don't have to make a sound. He'll take her in his arms, her Prince shall I found. She's dancing in the ballroom like no one's around. Dancing in the ballroom, her head's in the clouds, feet on the ground, the most elegant gown. Time, it doesn't matter, she's nowhere bound. He's standing in the background just trying to keep a beat. It's kinda hard to dance with two left feet. Would she even dance with a guy like me? Sweaty palms and all, he steps out to sing. He reaches out, she takes his hand. The song begins as they step in. More perfect pictures, never been, just lovers on a blank canvas. 2, 3, 4. They're dancing in the ballroom like no one's around. They're dancing in the ballroom, their heads in the clouds, feet on the ground, so tired gown. Time, it doesn't matter, they're somewhere bound. Dancing in the ballroom like no one's around. They're dancing in the ballroom, their heads in the clouds, feet on the ground, so tired gown. Time, it doesn't matter, they're somewhere bound. So I released an EP back in January. It's the first album that I've done on my own that actually sounded good. Most of my other stuff before I was like really unimpressed with. You know, there was like a garbly noise in the background and it just wasn't good. So I got to release a pretty well recorded EP. It's called Testing the Waters. But a big part about my album is just, I guess, paying homage to the people that have come before me. You know, the songwriters that I listened to growing up, like John Denver and all of them. I can't even name all of them. But all the guys that I grew up listening to. But I also wanted to give a little recognition to the state that I live in. Like, I feel like we're kind of one of the only ones that get to experience all 4 seasons in their purity. And a lot of people don't recognize that. So kind of had a little bit of pure Michigan theme to the album. But this song's called Autumn Road. It's one of my favorite seasons, fall. This song just kind of takes me to that moment when you're just able to put on a sweater. Let's get along, just me and you. Let's take a walk under the moon. I'll hold your hand, keep you warm. I'll start a song, you'll sing along and we'll walk this autumn leaf-covered road. We'll walk until our toes get cold. Then we'll go back to my place or your place in canvas. Lay beneath blankets, we'll fall asleep there tonight. So just close your eyes. I'll be here when they open. And just one more time, kiss me before you say goodnight. I'm just asking for your hand, and it'll still be you when I wake. I'm not asking for your love, 'cause girl, you know I've had my heartbreaks. I'm just asking for your hand, and it'll still be you when I wake up. Let's get alone, just me and you. Let's take a walk under the moon. I'll hold your hand, keep you warm. I'll start a song, we'll sing along and we'll walk this autumn leaf-covered road. We'll walk until our toes get cold. That was called Autumn Road. That is the featured track on the album. I actually have the album here. If you're a CD person, it's over there. If you're a Spotify person, you can download it for free and just check it out on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. It's normally $7, but you guys already paid to get in here today, so it's going to be down to $5. If you guys want to buy the CD, just throw a $5 bill in that, and you can take it home. This song, everybody tells me sounds like sitting on the dock of the bay when it starts, and it's funny that you don't even think about the influences that are in your songs as you're writing them. But I woke up one morning and found out that a news reporter in Virginia was shot along with her cameraman, and it was like the last thing that just infuriated me. I was just so upset with our society, so upset with culture. And I was trying to find someone to blame. So I looked to the past, actually, and realized that we're pretty close to another society that eventually crumbled on itself. The Roman society was one of the greatest societies that ever existed, but they couldn't figure out how to be civilized amongst themselves, and it eventually destroyed their nation. So I wrote this song hoping that it didn't happen to us here as Americans. It's called Good Morning Rome. Good morning Rome, can't say I'm glad to see you. I thought you were dead, but now I can see you were just sleeping there in my bed. Good morning, Rome. Good morning, Rome. So who you gonna take today? Who you gonna take tomorrow? All in the name of king and country. How you gonna vote today? How you gonna vote tomorrow? Do we get thumbs up or down? Say, good morning, Rome. Can't say I'm glad to see you. I thought you were dead, but now I can see you were just sleeping there in my bed. Good morning, Rome. Citizens have got the right to know just whose pocket's gonna grow as they fight for bread and water. You gave us violence and sexuality, and we just like to share it on all of our screens. as your clenching hand gets stronger. Good morning, Rome. Can't say I'm glad to see you. I thought you were dead, but now I can see you were just sleeping and in my bed. And I can see you falling apart from the inside. I guess it starts with me. And I can see you crumbling from the inside. And as history repeats, goodbye Rome. Can't say I'm sad to see you go. You may not be dead, but I hope you see it's not here that you can lay your head. So goodbye Rome. Goodbye Rome. Can't say I'm sad to see you go. You may not be dead, but I hope you see that it's not here that you can lay your head. Oh, goodbye Rome. Thanks for listening, guys. We're gonna get the movie going. Again, if you want to find out where I play, I have an email list. Put your email on, I'll send you where I'm playing at. Thank you.
Yay!
All right.
I'll talk to Nate just for a second while they get the buttons pushed on the movie. Nate, why don't you hold that guitar up for everybody? I know I do this to you every time we get together because it's a weird guitar, isn't it?
It is.
It's a beautiful guitar.
It's a strange guitar.
It sounds good. It's a strong, solid sounding guitar, but it's almost every guitar in the world's got a hole in the center or what they call F-holes on each side. This has neither. It's a new thought of guitar?
Yeah, so it's a branding strategy, I think. I don't know how old the patent is on the idea. But this is a Boulder Creek guitar. So you're familiar with like Taylor and
Boulder
Martin?
Creek.
Yep, and this one's called a Boulder Creek. They've been around for about 10, 12 years or so. But their whole idea was that if you take the sound hole and move it to the side, that you actually get a consistency in the top of the guitar. So it prevents warping and like any other issues that guitarists know happen, bridge pulling and those kinds of things. So they put 2 aluminum rods inside here, and that helps carry the vibration as well.
And it's a good-looking guitar. It's got a great sound, and they showed that guitar in the movie, right?
I do believe
you
so.
You have
yeah,
that in the movie.
Yeah.
You need to be calling this. What's the name of the company again?
So this is Boulder Creek.
Boulder Creek. You need to be calling this Boulder Creek and tell them you're making this guitar famous. You're playing live. It's in movies. They should be giving you these guitars for free.
So my wife was a little jealous when I brought it home because I told her it was my new favorite blonde.
You know, Bob Seger doesn't pay anything for any of his guitars. They're all free. They just give them to him. When you're a big famous star, they give you guitars. When you're way down the ladder,
you got to pay all that money when you're on the bottom.
Taking all your tip jars and you're pulling it together and borrowing money from your dad and somebody else to buy one guitar. When you get to be a big star, they just give them to you. All right, are we close to the movie here?
Judge said bail, front page of the Detroit News, and this old face gonna sing the blues. Yeah!
When you first start out as a musician, maybe you're in grade school and you learn how to play your instrument, you study, you practice. Stage 2, you learn to play with other guys. And there's a big learning jump that happens when you work with other people. Stage 3 would be making the living. So a lot of starving musicians, a lot of guys making a great living. You can go from playing the corner nightclub to doing concerts, to getting some of the accolades, and stage 4, really working at making it a calling, making it a complete life. You get to stage 5 and you get old and people want to hear your story. You become the guy that talks to the people at the other stages. They seek you out and find out what you've learned, and it's kind of an interesting thing that only the old musicians will ever experience.
Can you tell me the last time you went out specifically to hear live music?
This summer, I was supporting a colleague. I play the flute, and she was performing a concerto.
How, when, and why did you decide to make a career as a musician?
You know, it comes to mind that we should have went over these questions first. A lot of people start early on. I can remember being in 3rd grade and watching Elvis Presley movies or seeing the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan TV show, Ricky Nelson on his show, and thinking, how cool is that? So I think from very earliest on, I think maybe the reason you even pick up a guitar in the first place is because you feel that urge to perform, that urge to be in the band.
Well, both my parents were musicians. My father, he played with Don Pablo and his orchestra. My mother taught music in the Detroit schools. So I had music around me all my life. As a little boy, I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I started playing guitar, and I fell in love with the guitar. Even though I started playing trumpet in 2nd grade. It was in the Detroit schools, and so I went to band class, and the teacher said, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. Only 3rd graders are allowed. And I started crying because I wanted to play, and so he let me stay. My brother, who was taking guitar lessons, he quit taking guitar lessons, so I started playing his guitar, and I just fell in love with the guitar. And I just decided I wanted to be a guitar player. It's been my focus since like in 3rd grade.
Well, it certainly doesn't start with making a career. It starts with a passion for music. My brother started taking guitar lessons. The guitar was always lying around, and while he was taking the lessons, I would grab the guitar and play it whenever he wasn't playing it. You take it up, you take a few lessons, you're resisting the formal training on a lot of levels because you want to get into bands and start playing. What's with the practicing and stuff? That's just getting in the way, you know. And so next thing you know, you see the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and of course, the rest is history. You fall in love with the whole idea of it. So music was very, very early on. The idea of a career, though, I will say, doesn't come into your mind early on. I never thought of it as a livelihood. I just thought of it as a wonderful hobby and a passion in the purest sense. Along with my passion for guitar, all of a sudden here I am totally infatuated with this flute. No natural ability to play it, and I took it home and I could not stop trying to play it. The university had a new music program. I came in, they saw some potential there. They saw an obvious passion. I had to learn how to read. I started getting introduced to classical music. I learned what the idea of practicing and study was. That came late. Prior to that, I was just having fun playing. I was dedicated, but not the way I was.